Hi, Pat here. Today I'm responding to a video by a guy by the name of kippmcleodtheheretic. He made a video response to me. I contacted Kip first after watching one of his videos, and I had a problem with the way that he seemed to enjoy mocking this young theist kid. I'll just play a clip of that so you see what I'm talking about first.
Greetings everyone, my name is Kip McLeod, and today we're going to learn why evolution is false.
I'm gonna go to hell when I die.
Hi everyone, this is Ben Johnson.
Hi Ben.
Today I'm going to talk about evolution, and I'm going to simply show you how fake and false it really is.
Good, because most YouTube videos that discuss evolution just run off on a rant of nonsense and intelligent design rhetoric and focusing around Michael Behe's little rant about the flagellum.
First of all, we're going to talk about the flagellum. Okay, a flagellum is like a cell, but it has a little tail with it so it just swim through areas, and so the little according to evolution, things slowly would evolve, and according to evolution, one protein part at a time would slowly go and go.
Now Ben, I can't help but notice that you seem to repeat certain key elements of your video over and over again, kind of the way that hostages repeat just how well they're being treated. It makes me wonder just where you got your information from and how these specific bullet points got drilled in to that noggin of yours.
Yeah, so not really impressed with that, mate. You know, you need to grow up a little bit. If you're going to address subjects like the bacterial flagellum, transitional fossils and that, why don't you speak to somebody perhaps your own age with some knowledge on the subject. Sort of picking on a kid like that who's just voicing his opinion. You made an issue with the problem with the title of my video that I posted on your site. The video is Problem Questions for Atheists. I've been attacked for that before, so I'll just quickly explain it again. The reason I addressed it to atheists is because it is inevitably atheists on YouTube that I'm discussing evolution with. I think it's safe to say that most, if not all, atheists are evolutionists. There may be some exceptions, I'm not aware of any. So that's why I did that. You asked why did I address my video Problem Questions for Atheists to laymen and not to scientists, as if I addressed it to a scientist they would be able to refute me easily. I addressed it to laymen specifically because the whole point of the video that I've made, which I've made well before speaking to you, is to see how many of the people on YouTube, or the atheist evolutionists on YouTube who present the argument of the bacterial flagellum being reducibly complex, etc., actually can understand the argument that they present, and they can explain the arguments that they present, or are they merely just parroting the views of scientists in a form of credulity, which I suspect that's what you're doing. We'll see. First thing you said was to refute me. You said a quick Google search and then you can find some information. Well, you need to stop right there, mate, because that's exactly what I'm talking about. If you need to Google search it, if you can't answer it in your own words, then you can't defend the argument that you're presenting. You see, now you presented the argument in your video to that young fella, so you should be able to defend it, and obviously you can't. So you need to Google search it. You claim that the bacterial flagellum can be altered slightly. Now I believe that they did experiments where they reduced the movement of the bacterial flagellum's tail. Instead of spinning, it was just wobbling or wiggling or something like that. That's not an example of evolution. What I'm talking about is um, genetically removing components of the bacterial flagellum to bring it back to what they claim it was before. And this is something that, interestingly, in 2 videos you've talked about the bacterial flagellum, you haven't addressed. You haven't mentioned the type 3, the needle nose pump, which acts as a toxin syringe. Now this is the claim. The claim is that the needle nose pump was something like what the bacterial flagellum evolved from. So you have a toxin syringe that slowly evolves and components adapt and change to develop a system that can propel itself through water, which is or liquid, which is an entirely different function. So I would need to see an example of that. Where have they genetically engineered a bacterial flagellum to be a toxin syringe? If you've got the answer to that, let me know. You claim that the information, the answers to these questions are out there, and that you accuse me of being dishonest for saying that saying that I haven't heard the information or whatever. The arguments are out there. They just don't explain the questions that I'm asking in my video. I asked for an explanation for previous functions for the 40-odd components. Nobody's answered that to date. There have been biologists that have commented on my video, but they haven't answered the question. So if you can answer it, by all means, go ahead. You go on about the you mocked that kid with regard to transitional fossils. So let's take a look at that.
Okay, then another thing about evolution, that the transitional fossils, okay? These are the fossils which are from, like, according to evolution, here's what the animal used to look like, maybe a horse or something, and here's what it looks like now.
There's a funny thing with the transitional fossil, is that all fossils are transitional fossils.
And another thing, I've heard this from people.
Okay, I just love how you do that little talk show host thing right there when you go, and another thing. Really, like, I think of Jerry Springer or fucking Oprah. It's just so cute. And another thing.
What is your problem, mate? What a loser. You know, where do you get off talking to him like that? What, he's done something to you? Has he hurt your feelings? What? You know, he's just a young kid. You're a bully. That's what you are. Now, when he's talking about transitional fossils, of course we all know that if you were to believe in evolution, that all creatures are in a state of transition at any given time. But what he's talking about is that the physical evidence to support evolution is the fossil record. And let's say, for instance, in the line of whale evolution, you should be able to line up all the fossils over the 50 million year period that they have, as Gingrich suggested, and you should be able to look at perhaps million year, 2 million year, 5 million year gaps and see evidence for transition, evidence for morphology. That's what he means, and you know it. You are a loser, mate. Grow up.